What's up guys, Semi-Mong here, joined today by another Game On member, Wolfzamer. We're then furthermore joined by two other randomers in Elder Scrolls Online to join us in the Spider Dungeon of Spindleclutch. If you haven't already, check out our previous attempt with just me and Wolfzamer. It was a lot of fun, funny as hell, but unfortunately we didn't get that far. But luckily this time we've actually got a level 28 to help us. So all's well and good. He's gonna run us through the dungeon, help us kill all the bosses. And I know you may be thinking, but he's level 28. He'll be able to do it in no time. But yeah, he does kill through all these spider mobs pretty quick. But when it comes to the bosses, they're still taking their fair time to die for the level he is. So I think it's a fair trade. It's a fair trade for the good loots we get. So make sure... There. Sorry guys, it's an early morning. Just make sure you stay tuned, see all the bosses, see what happens in the cave if you've never been to this dungeon before, and see if we ever get to the end. But yeah, as you remember in the previous video, this is where me and Wolfzamer got up to. We got to the first cave. We're currently cleaning it out with the level 28. I'm on my Ranger, or Archer, however you wish to say it, Mongolator. Got some good levels up on him. And we've actually ventured into Cryodal now, me and Wolfzamer, so that video will be up soon. But for now, as you can see, we're just tearing through the spider mobs. I did just have to check my ultimate ability because I forgot what it was. But for at the moment, for the general dungeon, I'm just trying to get some good supercharged shots off at single targets. So I'm picking a target, sticking with it. Or I'm trying to do as much AoE damage as possible to hit multiple targets. So, picking the target, poisoning them, picking another target, poisoning them, continuing that on. Or, as you can see, just pick poison, Ramdam, bam, AoE, that's my ultimate ability, which is doing damage every second for about 8 seconds, I believe it is. So, it can target anyone that's in its radius, which is really good. So, this is the first boss, if you haven't already noticed, but... yeah, as you could see, for the level being a level 28, it did take him a while to carve through it. Obviously, you've got the help of me and Wolfzamer and the other randomer. Don't know his name, can't quite see it clearly on the screen. I'm sorry, guys, I'm sorry. But yeah, as you can see, I've got good loot from that. I'm currently looking more badass than I was in the previous video. Obviously, we've been doing a lot of guides recently. We've got a blacksmithing guide already up. We're doing a woodcutting guide. And unfortunately, in this video, there's actually no game audio. We did have the game audio, but our commentary that we recorded while in the dungeon was being blocked out by the game sound. So it was not of crystal clear, and that's what we need. But look forward to future videos in a couple, or I'd say 3 or 4 videos. We're getting the Elgato up and working. But for now, let's get back to the dungeon. We've cleared the first boss, so we haven't gotten this far in the other video. This is where me and Wolfzamer bailed. We couldn't get past all these mobs, there's too many. But you can see all the abilities that the level 28 is using. You can see that I'm trying to get as many good shots off as I can, using my bow to an advantage, trying to stay towards the back of the pack, pick off my targets. But now is where you're going to want to use a lot of AoE because there's so many different targets in this area. As you could see, there's a main chamber there, and then I looked off to the side and saw more enemies. So I've just put down my, what is it called, battle standard. I've got a volley of arrows as well that I can chuck out there just to do more AoE damage, but I like to sort of stagger them, I'd say. Trying to get as many poison shots off as I can to once again do more damage over time. So it's just a constant damage, keeping them, rather than doing big hits like the tank should be, I'm trying to wear down their health over time, if I can. Trying to get, those are the little shots that I like to do after I've done a supercharged shot. So I did actually change out my supercharge ability, which increases it by 40%. Oh no, I haven't. I've done that after this dungeon, sorry. Little sneak peek there. So that ability there I used increases my supercharge attack by 40%, so... think if a supercharged attack is more damaging than a light attack, that's then again being increased by 40%. So it's going to do a lot of damage. A good spell to start off a fight with. Brilliant actually, because you can start off the fight, get a really big hit in. Either put your poison down, put your volley of arrows out, trying if there's multiple targets. Or if there's not, as I said, just put your poison out and continue with the little hits. So there, supercharged, now little hit, supercharged. While that's active, you want to do as many supercharged hits as you can, because I've actually got the upgrade where every supercharged hit I do will increase the ability by a second. So as you can see, I'm actually aggroing this boss quite a bit in this. Well, I aggro it a couple of times in this boss fight, which shouldn't be happening when there's a level 28 actually with us. So it does show that I'm doing a fair bit of damage for the level and the gear I've got. But it is the whole dungeon, as I said, is spider orientated, so the first two bosses are just big spiders. They do drop good loot though, so as you can see, look at them all, so many. To cool down my battle standard, put down my volley of arrows, try and hit as many of them as I can. But they all just scurry away, they just scurry away. Ugh, I didn't even realise the boss died until I turned around. It was kind of annoying. Once again, unfortunately guys, this whole dungeon will be split into two videos. That's just due to the PS4 and its limitations. But I will be getting the Elgato up and running at the end of the day, investing some money in a new monitor. But let's get back to the dungeon. I believe, yeah, you do get to see the third boss fight. I'm pretty sure this video runs up to the third or fourth boss fight. So there's the map layout of the cave. Each cave sort of has a boss or hardened mobs, I would say. So you've got a good 4 or 5 boss fights throughout the whole dungeon of Spindleclutch, which is very entertaining. Good EXP, good loot. What's there not to like? This is if you pick the Daggerfall Alliance, I believe, as well. I haven't actually picked another alliance and gotten to a high enough level to go into my first grouped dungeon. But I am currently leveling up another character, so I will get back to you on that one. With the third actual Game On member, Old Man Gamer, so he will be joining us on our Elder Scrolls adventure. But right now what you're witnessing is the whispers. So we've come into the third cave and found out that the guy, what's his name? The sergeant sent a group of soldiers in here before, and they've all turned on each other because of these so-called whispers that are going throughout the caves. So you're currently seeing light and whispers flashing to the soldiers. It's hurting our ears as well. You can see Wolfzamer holding his ears there. But what happens now? You'll find out that they actually turn on you. So as I said, yeah, they turned on each other. So now this group turns on us. And I guess it's down to us to go kill the Whisper. But for now we have to clear out these evil soldiers. Look at him on fire. Haha. And once again the 28 just comes out of nowhere and devastates them all, which is brilliant. Absolutely love it. Literally. So fun. Can't wait to get to that level, especially for PvP. But yeah, the main leader, the sergeant of that little group, was meant to be the boss, but I guess it didn't take him that long to die. So we continue on through until the 4th cave now. It doesn't actually number the caves from this point forward once you leave the sergeant. So you're going to have to go through your map. Go to your map for reference, sorry. But yeah, our quest has now turned to silencing the whispers, so I guess we have to search the cave and find out where the whispers are coming from, where they're originating from, which is very interesting. Just more hardened mobs here. A lot of good loot. So yeah, we're just past the 2nd or 3rd cave, I'm pretty sure. As you can see, the whole cave and dungeon is still pretty open compared to it being inside, I'd say. I mean, I found myself outside, found in more close quarters combat with all the trees and all the rock formations. But yeah, the cave itself is pretty open, so archers, mages, all are good in here. You don't really need to stick to melee weapons. You can still dodge and roll out of the way. But yeah, I'm just using my Fire Claw there, which is one of my up close spells. If you haven't watched the previous video, what it does is just strikes your enemy with fire. So it strikes down with fire, burning them alive, setting them on fire, which does more DOT damage. And then I have got another close combat spell called Stone Guard or something like that. I think it's Stone Guard, which pretty much just knocks them down. But yeah, you can see in the top what I did not know. By the way, guys, if you look at the top of the screen at an enemy and see their health bar, the more elaborate the health bar, so the more fancy it is, like that health bar has got wings sticking out of it, whereas the Wolfzamer health bar is just a normal standard health bar. That means that the mob is a hardened mob, and as you can see, I just got better loot than I would on a standard mob, so it's actually good to point that out. If you're unsure whether you can take on a certain enemy, look at their health bar, see if they're hardened, see if they're some sort of elite or boss or public boss, and take it from there. You should be able to, though. So what are we doing? I believe we're just waiting around. Oh yeah, the level 28, God forbid, died, and we were unable to resurrect him because we had no soul stones. And I didn't know that you had to actually invest in putting that soul trap spell onto your hotbar to refill them. So that's a sort of grind you have to go through every now and then. If you've got empty soul stones, is it, or is it soul gems? I think it's soul gems. If you've got any empty soul gems, then you just have to go kill an enemy while soul trap the spell is activated, and it'll just refill it. I believe you have to do one enemy for every soul gem, so that is kind of annoying. As I said, it does turn into a bit of a grind. But at the end of the day, what more can you do? So yeah, we're in Spindleclutch. We're just waiting for the level 28 to run back to us. I think I've got some good tactics for the dungeon, sort of supercharging my attacks, getting my heavy attacks out first, and then getting my little attacks out. And if there's lots of enemies, AoE. It does sort of stick to the dungeon with its large open areas, sorry. But yeah, I did just swap out my frostbow for a firebow. Did have a little bit more increased damage per second, so hopefully I now start doing more damage. But as we continue on, I believe we find the 4th cave. No, we do not. Who are we waiting for? Oh, we're waiting for Wolfzimmer. Oh, sorry guys. As I said, really tired, really early. Seems Wolfzimmer was very energetic at the time. But yeah, let the 28 just open fire. If you haven't got a higher level just sort of taking you through it, running you through the dungeon, remember to have someone who, in other MMOs it's called a tank in World of Warcraft, who just engages the enemies first, tries to aggro them, get all their attention so they're not attacking me or the DPS, so all the damage per second people can just pick them off. So their main role is to sort of take damage, aggro all the enemies, and then yeah, just let the rest of the group heal up, kill them all off. But fortunately for us, we did have a higher level. But yeah, let's continue on through the dungeon. We're close to the end now, I believe. Yep, we are. So we're getting through the dungeon. As you can see, it's more turned into, rather than spiders now, there's a lot of cultists or, yeah, corrupt infantry. So these are the soldiers that went in before we did with that other group of soldiers, and they've turned to the Whispers. They're turning on each other, trying to kill us as well, which is not good. But I do like how every sort of, well, I don't know if every dungeon's got its own storyline, but I do how, like, this quest has brought more backstory to the dungeon, rather than just making you run through it for the loot and for the experience. It does add a bit of interaction to it. A lot more in-depth than a couple of other MMOs I've played in their dungeon raids. So I did enjoy it quite a lot. But as you can see, we're getting loot left, right and centre. All stuff you can either deconstruct down or sell out. So it's very good. I believe this is where we do find the next boss, is in this next sort of cave area. So actually coming up to this little cave area here is the only close quarters combat I actually really encountered thinking about it. Because as you saw, all the other caves are quite open. It's just these narrow corridors leading into the final caves that sort of wound us down. But yeah, this has been Spindleclutch Part 1. Remember to check out Part 2, guys, and see how we got on. I've been Semi-Mong. Remember to shout out to Wolfzimmer, and bye.